Hello, Honey Roses. Good day to you. Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. I am Mystic Alchemy. So, I have a reading here for you, darling. I have a reading here for you, darling. You know, Spirit feels like it's time for you to be given to because you've given so much. And it's finally time for you to be given to. You put that work in, yeah, I mean? You did. You put a lot of work in. You helped a lot of people. You did a lot of things. You did a lot of things. And you did it from the kindness of your own heart. It wasn't like for clout. It wasn't for the bag. You heard that? For the bag. It wasn't for the bag. I see the sun peeking through the branches when I look up. It's peeking. It's peeking. I feel like that's what the blessing doing. It's peeking at you. It's like, hey, I'm right here. You see me? You don't see me. You don't know I'm here. I'm like, peekaboo. You might feel something, right? You might feel something is coming. I've been feeling like that. And before, when I was feeling that something is coming, like last year, it is happening right now, what I was feeling. What I was feeling like with people moving away and people on the go, like it's happening now. Right? It's happening now. Even with me. It's happening, what I was feeling. And it made me very emotional last year because I could feel that many people was going to suffer. And I didn't know exactly what was coming. I didn't know exactly what it was. I just knew that a lot of people were going to have to move and a lot of people were going to be left out in the cold. I knew that a lot of people were going to be confused. I felt the confusion. And what the hell is that? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought I saw some type of creature next door in the backyard. Like, who is that? Wait, it might have been a creature. Look, I don't got my glasses on, but something was just crawling over there. And it didn't look like a raccoon, but what was that? It kind of looked like a cat. Ooh. It kind of looked, you see, when I'm outside, I be having flies just trying to get in my eyes and bees trying to kiss me. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let me just focus on what I was saying. So, the birds are dancing in the trees above me. Nature is distracting me, but it's a very beautiful distraction, though. But I still don't know what I just saw because I don't have my glasses on. The backyard is too far for me to see, but it was looking a little eerie. But anyway, let me get back. I'm sorry. Excuse me. So, yeah, I was feeling this energy of a shift, but it was like very emotional feeling that I felt. Like I felt a wave of other people's emotions that was coming, and it made me cry last year. I think I deleted some of the videos though. I should have just left them there, but I had deleted them because I was trying to like minimize whatever. Let me not go into that because I'm telling y'all all types of other stuff. Yeah, but all of the birds just flew out and they were just together, but they're apart. But they flew out synchronistically. Almost like they were in like a drumline assembly. And they just all left. Those birds that I was just talking about, how they were in the trees. That's what happened. That's what's happening right now. There's many people that are moving away from energy that had them intertwined into some situations that they weren't meant to be in. And in order for you to move away, you must see first. So a lot of people are seeing the truth for what it is now. And being that people are seeing and acting accordingly, lives are being saved, even though there have been many lives lost. And I felt that coming, like many people was going to lose their life. Many people were going to choose the wrong way. Like I felt all of that, and it made me very emotional last year. And now I see it's happening. But the change that I'm feeling now for the people is a positive change, even though it doesn't necessarily look positive right now to many people that look, but it depends on how you're looking. Things have to be destroyed before they could be rebuilt, and we're in this wave of preparation for the rebuild, okay? And that's what I'm feeling, and I feel this in the lives of many of you, especially those who know better. I don't know why I wanted to say that, know better. I just feel like that's a representation of how much you've learned in your life. For those that know better. Because when you don't know better, you do dumb stuff. You just do things that are senseless and nonsensical. When you don't know better, you just be outside just moving and you don't even know why you're moving in certain directions. And there's no intention. You just kind of like, you just get swayed with the wind, wherever the wind takes you. You ever, I mean, that could be a good thing if your intentions are good. However, if you don't have any intention and you just letting people just take you here and there and you getting into this and that, you can get yourself mixed up. You can get yourself into a pickle. I don't know why I keep hearing that this morning. And I don't really say that. But I don't know. It's coming out this morning. Yeah, so now it's time for you to reap the rewards that you've sown. You've sown so many seeds, you see. And when people sow seeds, not everybody sees them. The seeds be quiet. The seeds don't talk. The seeds, they know silence. The seeds meditate. All right? Yeah. The seeds meditate. I never thought about that. Wow. Let me think about that again. The seeds meditate. They do. They meditate in their growth process. They meditate focusing on growth only, because what else does a seed do? Isn't that beautiful? And then you know what the seed does, right? It becomes one with the earth. Hello. Is that what you're doing? Because you sown the seed, so that means you are the creator of the seed. You are the nurturer, the cultivator of the seed. Yes. You are the cultivator of the seed. You know, the other day, I don't know if I told you this, but I witnessed a squirrel, and it happened so fast that I couldn't record it, and I didn't even want to. I didn't want to whip the phone out because I just wanted to take in the moment. I didn't want to get my phone and take my eyes off of the moment, because I just never saw a squirrel do that before. And it was a baby squirrel too, so cute. And it was in the backyard, and it had a nut in its mouth, but it was like a green little thing. I think it was a nut, or it was some type of seed. It may have been an acorn. You know, acorns, I believe they turn into trees when they're buried. Oh, look at the squirrel. I just realized he was doing his job. Don't mind me, because my mind is thinking about all this, and I'm just delivering it to you how it's coming to me. This is not, what's the word? Hey, stop it. Excuse me. This is not a script. This is just me talking. So I witnessed the squirrel take what looked like an acorn, but it was a little green, a little bit. It was like lime green. Maybe it wasn't an acorn. It may have been something else. I just know that it had it in its mouth, and then I watched it take his little hands, and it was standing up on his hind legs, and it put the nut or whatever that was in its hand, and it put it on the side of him or her, the little squirrel, and then it started to dig the hole real quick. Little hands was going, digging a hole, and then it took the seed or the nut or the whatever it was and put it in the hole. And then I saw it taking the dirt that it just took out the hole that it dug up and put it back over it, and it patted it too. It was so cute. And then just looked around, and then it just started, thinking about its next heavenly task that it was going to get into. It started thinking about its job, or maybe he was going to go meet his cousins in the tree down the block. I don't know. But I saw that, and I thought it was so cute. And it was just a moment, and I was wondering, does the squirrel know when to go back to the seed, or will it ever go back? Because now I have to go look up a squirrel's life and see what they be doing. Because I just feel like no matter whose life we witness, we could see something that we need to see, and we can learn from it, right? So when you take on that energy, you learn a lot without trying. It just comes to you, and spirit begins to speak. Because then that's when we become one with nature. And isn't nature the closest thing to God, the closest reality to God? Think about that and hold on to it, because it means a lot to us. It's our peace, a big part of it at least. So because you've changed the way you think, and you're more in alignment with your wholeness, with your whole self, with your divine self, with the God in you, you are ready to receive these blessings now. You're ready for them. You've been done wrong enough. It's been enough of that. You already know what it is now. You already can tell when somebody's trying to play you, even if they play you just a little bit, even if they get you just a little bit, it's okay, because you'll see it when it's time for you to see it. Sometimes you may let things rock out because you need to see something. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I have that in me where I'm not afraid to see how far somebody's going to go with me until I say it's enough. And then I see them for who they are, and that's what it is. And it always, it don't feel good, And I feel like many of you guys have gone through that, where when somebody play you and you see it, it's like, damn, you really you doing this right now? Am I looking right? Many of you have gone through that and really tried your best to see certain people and situations from different angles, trying your best to give that benefit of the doubt. But then you realize that doubt don't benefit you. And you said, oh, no, honey. You gotta go, I gotta go. I just know that we need to be separated, because I ain't got no time for this hole. I don't got no time for this hole. Okay? Because they've been hoeing around on people's energy, trying to mess with people, trying to really pluck people over. Replace the P with an F. Okay? Yeah. So because you've gone through so much, like, times where you had to learn how to strategize, you had to learn strategy. In your own life, it's the strategy of life, though. It's not strategizing to try to harm people. However, it's strategizing to protect yourself, strategizing to love yourself, because nowadays you got to have a strategy to remind yourself of who you are. You have to have a strategy to make sure that you're connected to the divine, to that source energy, because that's your power. That's where you get your power from. So there's so many things around us that focus on severing that tie, and that's a good soul tie, to be tied to the divine. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that, because you make better decisions when you're in that energy, when you're aligned with the divine. So being that you've been aligned with the divine and you've chosen to utilize your magic in such a way not to harm people, not to hurt people, not to have people bamboozled, and allowing yourself to kind of walk, you allowed yourself to walk into traps sometime that you knew how. It felt weird when I said that, but I'm gonna just say it. That you knew how to escape from. It makes sense when I finish the sentence, but when I first said it, it sounded a little crazy. You knew how to escape from it, because the truth, it aligned you with the truth in your energy, like how you felt. It aligns you with the direction that you're meant to go in. Now, when you stop aligning yourself with the truth of the matter that you're living in within that moment, that's when you disconnect yourself from the divine, when you don't align with the truth, because the truth sets you free. Who said that? Where did that come from, that saying? Where did they get that from? Because it's so true. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. You just put to, I see a bird just soaring in the sky, and I don't know what kind of bird that is, but it's definitely soaring. It looks fake, like it's not real. Oh, it's a hummingbird. This is the first time I saw it while I'm outside. I always see it when I'm in the kitchen window. I can't see what color it was because the sky is too bright. But I was looking up at the bird soaring that looks fake, and then all of a sudden the hummingbird came through, and I actually thought it was like a big bug, but it was a hummingbird because it's like a baby hummingbird. There's a lot of baby hummingbirds around here. But anyway, Spirit is basically saying, because you chose to use your magic for the betterment of yourself and those around you, you must be rewarded. There is no if, ands, or buts about it, baby. You got to get it. It's yours already. You have to get it. It's assigned and aligned with you. And because you've shown your spirit family, because we have spirit families that they just watch us and they look at us and they see how we move in. I always equate it to like, if you want to give your child a gift that they could either take care of or they could destroy. And then you have to figure out, if you have multiple kids, you got to figure out which child can actually be responsible enough to get a license and drive a vehicle without getting a bunch of tickets and without running red lights and being crazy outside. You know, which child do I feel is responsible enough for a vehicle? Because every child is not responsible enough to have a vehicle to drive. But as a parent, you'll know your child. You'll just know when your child is going to be responsible. And it's the same way for us. In the spirit looking at us like, look at our baby. We have like spirit guardians that, you know, there's God and then there's guardians. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? We like spirit babies. We are. We're like spirit babies because we're like babies here. Many of us. Some of us we are old souls. However, we still are babies because anytime there's someone that needs to be watched over and needs guidance, that's like a baby. So many of us, we don't look at ourselves as babies because we're grown adult people, right? That have responsibilities and children. And some of us be getting freaky and stuff. So, you know, that's an adult thing. However, it's still, we are babies in the spirit because we have to learn spiritual things. It's one thing to know physical things. We got that down packed because we're in the physical. It's another thing to learn spiritual things. That's different. And many of you have learned the spiritual things. That's why they're like, oh, the hangman is in reverse, so it's in the upright. So it's like, oh, I see, you know, you're doing a good job. Now you deserve gifts. Now you're ready. You're responsible enough to have these gifts, okay? There's no more playing small. Stop trying to play small and do it big. That's what I just heard. So if any of you are holding on to ideas that are so powerful and even ideologies that you have in your mind that you never shared, that you feel are healing, share them. Listen, it doesn't matter who doesn't subscribe to you when it comes to what you believe is healing that God has placed on your heart. When God places something on your heart and you feel very passionate about it, that spark doesn't come from nowhere. That spark comes from source. That spark comes from the divine connection that you have. Never deny that, because you are a part of us as one, in which has been tainted so harshly that many believe that we are separate. How does that make sense when we all live on this realm? You know, it doesn't make sense. Not to me, at least. And it doesn't make sense because it doesn't. To be so separate is actually foreign to us, because it's not how we're naturally made to be. And so, no more playing it small. Always align yourself with that divine, because that's love for self, because that's love for spirit. The truth of us is our spirit. When you see somebody that has a broken spirit, they walk around like a zombie. They don't smile, they don't dance, they don't shout, they don't do nothing. They don't got no swag, they don't got no wit, they don't got no charisma. Charisma be gone. They don't have anything because their spirit got broken. However, even when your spirit did get broken, you mended it back. How you do that? Where they do that at? That's powerful to be able to do that, you know. You know how many people get their spirit broke and don't come back, they don't snap back from it? Your spirit, who I'm talking to, has been broke by multiple different energies, multiple times in your life. And then many times it happened back to back simultaneously from different energies at the same damn time. And you know what? For some of you, these energies didn't even know each other. So we can't say they conspired against you in the physical. However, they did in the spirit, because they're guided by the enemy, the one that wants to stop you from seeing who you are, like the truth in you. It didn't stop you though. And see, because it didn't stop you, you have proved yourself in the spirit that you are capable of being able to obtain these gifts. Your earth angel, you proved your ranking. You proved your ranking. Even in the darkness, you still kept walking. You was feeling your way through with your hands in the darkness. You couldn't see. You didn't see anything. It was dark in the daytime. Still dark. But you still was going though. That's why you deserve the championship. You deserve it. You deserve the golden medal because you have proven that you are golden for real. Okay, in the physical, we're golden. However, in the spirit, are you? Yeah, you are. But not many people get there because they break and they don't get back up. Because their mind is too weak to get back up. They don't get back up. And it's so sad because there's so many things that will break your mind, that will really come for your mind and how you think. And that completely destroys a person. You didn't let it destroy you. Congratulations. I find this to be very beautiful. And just know that spirit, you look, remember I told you your blessing is like peekaboo. Do you see me? I'm right here. I'm right here. You see me? I've been looking at you. I can't wait to jump on you. I can't wait to get connected to you. And now is the time. Now is the time. Now you're walking on sunshine. You might not see the blessings now, but they're already here. Claim them. Claim them as yours because they are yours. And walk as such. Never disconnect yourself from what is meant for you because it always has been. It's just about you taking the action and activating your soul in such a way where you are able to receive everything that you've worked on and worked for within. Bring it out now. Bring it out now because that is your blessing. What you have inside of you is the blessing. However, it's up to you to bring it out now. Okay? That's it for this message. That's it. And congratulations for being strong enough to overcome all of those strongholds that was over your life and being able to contribute to other people's lives in such a positive, uplifting way when you could have shunned people and you could have spoken down to them and you could have hurt feelings. Instead, you gave a helping hand. You know how much that means in the spirit? You know that is like showing your ranking, your strength. That shows spiritual strength when you go through the most and you're still able to uplift your brothers and sisters around you. That's when you get promoted in ranking, when you show your strength in such a way energetically and you truly allow the illumination of your spirit to glow, not just for you, but for even those that you don't know personally. However, you know them in the spirit. That's a big thing that you're doing. And I just feel like many of you don't look at it as a big thing because it's just who you are. And you just don't even know how powerful you are. Well, I'm here to give you the message because Spirit just gave me the message to give to you. To remind you of who you are. Everything you do, do it with love. If you need anything from me, visit www.milkhoneyRose.org. You could book a healthy conversation, a reading, and or purchase any of my books. And you could join the membership. It is available if you're interested. Everything you do, do it with love, and I'll see you in the next one.